Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, and welcome to my channel. Today we are reviewing Married at First Sight Season 14 Reunion Part 1. We are doing a quick therapist review here on this channel, and they could have done the reunion in one episode, but you know how Lifetime is, we're getting two parts. So before we get into it, of course, please subscribe to the channel, comment below, let me know what you're thinking about these couples and where they are 6 months in, and of course, like the video. So let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about Michael and Jasmina. Michael and Jasmina, what happened, right? What we thought would happen. Now, I would say what was really annoying was to not have the information that he went in 4 weeks without communicating with her. That would have been really great information to know, to kind of understand why Jasmina kept saying, I need you to talk to me. I need you to talk to me. I need you to talk to me. And then also why she had this kind of lack of trust, so him withdrawing communication for a whole month off, while they were off camera could definitely bring up some hesitancy on her part. And so I understand Michael's point of him being called aggressive. I don't know what he said. We don't have that on camera to know what he did that was aggressive. I'm going to take her word for it because that's her experience of him. I will say that I think this is just another shining example of how much hands-on coaching these couples need when getting married at first sight. I think that these experts sometimes do a lot of assumptions with these couples, not understanding how much work that they need. I really saw Michael as kind of like a really scared little boy, not understanding how to communicate. And I know there's this thought out there that you're supposed to have all these skills before you get married, and at the same time that just doesn't happen, right? There's no workshops that are mandatory, I should say. There's no mandatory training, right? There is recommended premarital counseling, going to therapy to learn skills in order to have a healthy relationship. But not everybody does that for whatever reason, whether it's lack of access or lack of education or stigma, right? So the experts knowing this, them being mental health professionals, I really feel that they do a disservice to these couples, especially in the area of Michael Jasmina. I feel like they had what it takes to make it. I really do. Jasmina, she talks a good game about, Michael not stepping forward to make the advances to make her be attracted to him. And at the same time, it's like she feels like he's supposed to know what's in her head. Again, lack of communication. Well, you're supposed to know to tell me that I'm attractive, which he is. And at the same time, he's recoiled so that he's not talking for a whole month. So him not feeling comfortable enough to say you're beautiful and make those compliments because he doesn't know what to say and what not to say. I imagine that potentially his relationship with his mother, while he definitely of course cherishes her, may have been partly as they were growing up just maybe more authoritative, like that may have been her parenting style, because that can really lead to an adulthood very much like questioning yourself, not knowing your own voice and knowing what to do, and kind of can hinder healthy confidence being developed in adulthood. And I really see this with Michael, as Jasmina is very vocal sometimes, and as she said, even too vocal, which I agree. I feel like there's tact, and I feel like she did not have a way to communicate to him in a way that he would receive it to show up in the way that she wanted him to, right? So they made it 12 days after decision day. We know that the decision for them to live separately was not going to work. especially having the information that they were not talking for a full month, and the communication that Jasmina felt was appropriate was text. Now, you can text a friend, you can text customer service, but your husband having communication, especially in the area where you're building a marriage, like an instant marriage, microwave marriage, basically that's what this is. You need to truly dive into the experience. Texting is just not going to work. And so I'm grateful that Michael did like an assessment of, hey, I'm not really getting what I need from this. And I still see how they struggled in communication, even in conflict. They really needed some one-on-one coaching in the area of communication to really make this relationship work, and how to communicate with each other vulnerably, because both of them truly have a lot to learn in that area. But again, we knew this would happen. So next we have Katina and Olajuwon. It was really great to see. It was really great to see that Olajuwon saw himself and said, ooh, did nobody tell me that I was acting a fool on television? So here's the thing. I believe that Olajuwon has a lot of work to do. I truly do. I believe he has a lot of work to do, and he has a lot of areas of growth. I also believe that I should say this. I also feel that he has truly potential to prove himself and be a great man to Katina. Why? The reason why I feel that way is I look at his friend, his best friend. Friendships will tell you a lot about a person. His friend, who he trusts the most, is able to tell him the truth about himself, and he hears it and he receives it. And so I really feel like, unfortunately though, Olajuwon relies on that a lot instead of taking inventory for himself. That is one of his downfalls. He's not very self-aware. And so when he saw himself on television, he was like, wow, I was looking like that. Like, yes, Olajuwon, you were looking like that. And so I think because he has that really great friend, I don't know if you guys remember him. He was helping him like coach through the wedding day. He was helping talk to him after the wedding and being very honest and direct with him. So I see that's the type of people that Olajuwon keeps around him. Now, their older brother is a concern, but it seems like maybe he doesn't lean to him. He doesn't lean to him for, consult and wisdom. But it was really great to see that he saw himself and he's like, I need to do something different. So he's bending on his expectation for cooking all the time. He's going out to eat because, hey, who wants to cook every day? I'm just saying. Not me. Also, it was great to see him show a token of appreciation for Katina. I hope, and I truly hope, that this is not a one-time thing, that he continues to show her appreciation, because she was patient with him where he did not display that same patience for her. And so I really hope that this is just not a one-time, hey, I appreciate you, here's this beautiful ring, but he continues to dote and cherish his wife, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to have patience with a person like Olajuwon. He has a lot of areas of growth, and at the same time, I do see where he has a lot of potential to truly get to the place where he needs to be. So I hope and wish the best for them. Next, we have Nicky and Steve. It was great to see that they are working things out, that they're still in counseling. Bravo to them. I would recommend that to any couple that is getting married at first sight. continue counseling. So it was really great to see that. It was great to hear that they're working on their communication. Sriracha told them exactly the areas that they need to work on their communication, which she was being truthful. I did see how Steve sometimes would be a little condescending with her, like, are we going to work on that? And kind of joke about things that he was serious about, and that can really come off as insulting to someone. And it's also great to see how Noi is communicating a little bit more with Steve. They are cohabitating for half of the week or partially of the week. Steve is okay with it. If he's okay with it, then that's that. I am concerned about how long she keeps this apartment and what function this will play in her relationship, because Noi is a runner. With Noodlegate, she ran, and so I'm concerned about, like, if there is conflict, that she won't stay in the conflict and commit to the relationship and work it out and communicate, that the apartment will be seen as a place of retreat in midst of conflict, and that can truly get in the way of their marriage and get in the way of their intimacy and trust in their relationship. So I think it was great for Steve to understand where Noi is, and at the same time how there is like a timeline for him with work. I think there needs to be a timeline for this apartment as well. So we shall see how that goes. Last, we have Mark and Lindsay. Now, we knew this. We knew that this couple was not going to make it. We knew this couple was not going to make it, and I am grateful that they have parted ways, just for both of their mental health, as they both activate and trigger each other. I feel like Mark was able to develop more of a voice in this for himself, and I'm hoping that he will continue to do that. You see that he has lost some weight. He's getting into a new field of work, and so he is working on himself. So I really hope that even he seeks some individual therapy, just to really work out him being able to set boundaries for himself, him also being able to communicate in a way that he wants to communicate, to make sure like his words are matching his intent, because sometimes that really gets in the way of how he communicates with others, especially in his relationship with Lindsay. But I'm really grateful that they are no longer together. Lindsay. Kevin, the host, he said it best, that both of them had a challenge with accepting accountability. I feel like Mark would just apologize to keep peace, but not understand what he was apologizing for. Lindsay, on the other hand, my goodness, I was hoping that she would have more self-awareness, as she said that, okay, there were some things that I shouldn't have said. No, Lindsay, this goes a little bit deeper than there were some things that you should not have said. I applaud Mark for saying, I have been bullied through elementary school and middle school, and out of all the bullies in my life, Lindsay is at the top, because that is what she does. And even Steve pointed it out during the reunion. He said, I kind of saw it from the beginning that our personalities weren't going to mesh well. And, when I joked with her, then she took it personally. It's like she goes for the jugular. That is what she does. And this letter, this is what I'll say about this letter. I know that a part of her wants acknowledgement. A part of her wants acknowledgement and validation for the work and effort that she put into this marriage and how she showed up for Mark. And that part is right. That part is right. And also what that part is not seeing, what that part doesn't see, is how her behavior, really what Mark said, how her behavior and her actions toward him and her words cut him. To say that he does not have intellect, my goodness, that's so demeaning. And unfortunately, because Lindsay carries so much shame in her system, in her body, she carries so much shame. She feels like So okay, let's just have like a mini master class on shame real quick. A mini master class on shame. So shame, when people carry shame within them, and unfortunately a lot of people do, because we have a shame-based culture. We just do. That they view people like either I'm up here and you're down here, or vice versa, right? So that's what happens when you have shame in your system, and so Lindsay feels when she feels like how Steve was talking to her, she felt down here, so she had to even the playing field, right, and go high to put him down. Okay, and that's what she did constantly in her marriage, and that's what that letter was about. That was her letter to, okay, I feel like unappreciated. I feel like you don't value who I am, like you don't see how good I am for you. Let me tell you how good I am. And that letter was more about her and less about Mark, less about Kevin, less about us who are watching. That was really for her to validate herself. And so she had to put Mark down in order to elevate her sense of self, which is not necessary. It's truly not necessary, because they're really like this. I said it over and over again during my reviews. She never liked Mark. She never liked Mark. And I wish that I wish she would have been more honest about that, because she even gave Jasmina a little flux about not being completely honest with Michael. But she was also not being truthful. There's a difference. There's a difference in compromising in a relationship versus changing every single detail about a person. You're going to eat sushi now. You're going to recycle now. You're going to use a Keurig. We're going to completely overhaul your apartment. We're going to, all of these. We're going to change how you dress. We're going to change the field that you work in. I think there is a glow up that happens in relationships, and you make each other better, but it's not to the point where you're changing the person at their core. And that's what Lindsay is missing. And how she edited Mark, that's also what's happening internally inside for her. So I really, really hope and wish her well in California. I hope that she's talking to a therapist to really work out her heart, the little Lindsay that has been broken by the rejection from her family. I really hope that she loves on her and accepts her and realizes that she doesn't need to put other people down in order to make herself feel better, and that she is intelligent. She really is. She truly is intelligent. But where she misses the mark, is she's insightful, but she doesn't take accountability for it. She sees herself. She sees herself, but she does not take accountability for the things that she does, because she believes that if she takes accountability for what she does, then that means she is bad. And that's where shame comes from. And so you can take accountability and give grace at the same time. And that's where Lindsay needs to sit. That's where she needs to sit and really learn that skill. I hope and wish all of them the best. We are going to be here next week because we got a part 2. I'm kind of over all these couples, but let me know what do you think about the reunion thus far, as we will see more from them. I guess a short note on Alyssa and Chris. I don't really have much energy for this couple, as they were together for 10 days. What I will say is I'm glad to see that Chris has not allowed this to stop him from moving forward with his life. It does seem that this situation was really a lot for Alyssa. And Alyssa is still having a difficulty with accepting how she showed up for Chris. And Lindsay, while she has her eyes out for Alyssa, they both struggle in the same area. They have the self-awareness to say, ooh, how I'm showing up isn't okay. But they struggle in the accountability department. And that's why you keep hearing Alyssa say, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And next week we're going to hear her say, I'm a good person. Because a part of her feels like she's not. And I'm not going to say that she's not. I'm just going to say that she did not show up as her best self in this situation because of her limitations, and that's where she needs to really work on. And so I'm really hoping that accountability and grace can also be a place for Alyssa to sit and work. Well, let me know what you think about these couples and where they are. Of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and as always, be cool, be calm, be centered.